So very good morning traders. Welcome to today's live market profile and order flow trade analysis by Trade Education. We are at episode 176 and before I share today's analysis, I would just like to go through a quick disclaimer that trading involves substantial risk and is not suitable for all investors. Also, the information which I'm sharing is for educational purposes only and cannot be used for any trade related activity. So let's quickly look at how the auction developed yesterday and what can be the potential auction development paths from intraday perspective, today. Okay, so let me just quickly share my screen. And first of all, let me just jump to the daily chart. Okay, and in the daily chart, we are still in the selling zone. The 20 EMA is the level of support which I shared. So plus yesterday what has happened is this was more of an inside day. So now the references which I'll be keeping is the high of day before yesterday, low of day before yesterday. Those are secondary references. The first references is the high of yesterday and the low of yesterday. Okay, so these are some of the references which I'll be keeping. And overall, we are still in a bigger balance. With an excess, so this is where the excess is, and we're just trading sideways in this balance. Okay, so nothing much has changed. Sideways development. So earlier, if you see, we were in a good uptrend. Overall, if you see, we were in a good uptrend, and now we are just developing sideways. Okay, so from I think in the month of June is where some sideways movement was there, and in the after the mid of June, so from mid of June till September, before this strong sellers came in, we had continuous up move. Okay, now we are just having some sideways movement. Okay, so nothing much has changed. This is just the nature of markets or the nature of auction that from balance it went to imbalance, and from imbalance it comes to balance. Okay, now let me do one thing. So this is that second balance. So what I'll do is let me just add one more volume profile chart for yesterday's 2 days auction. So because now I'm considering this as a 2-day balance. Okay, so here what I'm seeing is so this is the balance high, this is the balance low, this is the VPOC. Currently the auction is getting rejected around the value area highs. Okay, so this is the value area high, and this is the value area low. This is the VPOC, and this, let me consider this as the balance high, and this as the balance low. Okay, now let me see. So if I this. So now what I'm expecting is, so there is a balance here, and today one of the option path which I'm seeing is, so today being Wednesday, tomorrow is the expiry. We need to see whether the auction gets rejected around the value area high or not. Okay, so what I'm expecting is some sort of rejection, and then tag the VPOC, again tag the value area high, and again close within the same range. Okay, this is the first auction. So this I'm talking from positional perspective. Second auction development path which I'm seeing is quickly goes higher. We find a good tempo, and then it reaches this balance high, and this is where some sort of reversal happens, and then auction again comes down. Now this reference level is very important, because if you see the left, okay, so from the price action perspective, this entire zone is a selling zone. So if you see, this is where all the sellers are pretty present, pretty strong and pretty present, and this is where their downfall started. Okay, so yeah, so let's see. Also, we have got a couple of HVNs on the upper edge, but nothing much. So let me do one thing. Let me minimize this, and let's now jump to the market profile chart. Okay, so overall we have an inside day, and let me merge. So this is the VPOC. So this is one reference level. This is the value area high, and this is the value area low. Okay, and here if you see multiple times buyers came in. So let me now remove the splitting and merging. So some of the references which I'll be keeping monitoring is the high of yesterday, the low of yesterday, and it's exactly at the value area low. We also have a failed option sell, and we have a good single print zone here. Okay, so let me now bring in the market open to see where the option is going to open. So flat opening, 16 points today, 16th of September. So let me close this. So now let's study the structure. So from the structural perspective, there are two halfback levels. So this is one halfback. This is the second halfback level. Okay, and so the low is a bit weaker. There is no excess around the lows, no excess around the highs. Okay, overall we have a sort of a bell curve, and there is one anomaly here. So what I'm expecting today is the couple of auction development path is the auction will open around the high and it will get rejected around this peacock level. Okay, so the auction will open around the high. Try to tag the stop losses which is built around the high of 14th of September, and then some sort of exhaustion pattern will be seen, and we will be seeing. So one auction path is we will be seeing balancing. Second auction path is it opens around the high and it just goes higher and it just continues in one direction. The odds are less that this is going to happen. Third auction development path is it opens around the high, it tags the high, and then it immediately shifts down and it tags the low. So this is the third auction development path. And the fourth, unlikely the auction development path which I'm seeing to develop is it opens around the high, it goes around the peacock, finds exhaustion, and then it is just trading within yesterday's range. Okay, so this is the fourth auction development path. So there are multiple auction development paths, which are currently I'm anticipating, or I would say gauging based on my understanding or my level of experience with market profile. Second thing is, if you study this particular auction, there is one halfback reference level. So this reference level is still intact. So odds are high that auction path number 1 or 2 will be the one which will be playing out today. So let me remove this circle. Okay. So auction path number 1 and 2 is what currently I'm looking for, because we have a halfback level here which has not yet been cleared. Okay. So the time is 9:13. About 2 minutes to go before the market will open. So in the meantime, guys, if you have got any comments, please do share in the live chat, in the YouTube live chat, or else let's just wait for the auction to open and see where it develops. Also, if any one of you is interested in learning about market profile, check the description box wherein there is a recorded session covering the market profile training. So that will be a good primer for you. So that I have created as a primer course. Anyone who's very new or who is new but who still wants to gauge an experience about market profile, that is the first course which you need to take. The next step is, once you take that course, then there is an advanced course which I give on one-on-one on personalized basis. I directly do not give any personalized training, because some fair bit of understanding, some trading experience is what you need, because these are all advanced concepts, and you need to have a lot of screen time. You need to have an experience before using this for your intraday or short-term trading perspective. So the auction will open in next 30 seconds, and let's see which way the which auction path plays out today. Okay, so the auction is not open around the highs, it is open around the close of yesterday, and then it is trying to tag. So there are some halfback reference levels. If I split this, so this is one reference level, this is another reference level. So it should tag the references, and this is a single print zone, one anomaly. So low confidence auction has opened with very low confidence. Let it either tag the value area high of yesterday or the high, but right now the auction will just get chopped off. So let it chop, but odds are high that we will be tagging the high and the day before yesterday's high, because there are multiple stop losses getting built around this level. So let me delete all. So now it is just tagging the close of yesterday and just sellers coming down. So let's look at the order flow. So good buying pressure, delta is negative, but buyers are stepping in. So anomaly, or a confusion is created because delta is showing negative, delta is showing bearishness, whereas the candle is bullish. So when such confusing things happen, it's better to just stay away and just observe the auction development, how the auction is getting developed, which are the players, or which are the are the intraday players, are they strong players, are they weak players coming in the current auction or not. Okay, so delta is now turning positive, 2,600 contracts traded. The odds are high that we will be taking an HVN here, which is about the high, around the high. We got one more HVN here, that is at the POC of yesterday. So it's above VWAP, delta is flat, negative but flat. Balance of power is also negative. Are there any comments? So no comments. So not good volume. 3,100, 3,200, and just tagging the VWAP. So from order flow perspective, we have an anomaly at the lower edge, at the lower side. There are trap buyers. Low is also weaker. So let either yesterday's high be tagged or the value area low, very high be tagged. But right now, let the market is going to be a bit choppy. So let it chop. So the big surge in buyer side, big surge coming in, positive delta. So I'm expecting a big tempo up, and these are the references which I'm. So right now this is the selling zone. So I'm expecting a big tempo, big push up. Yes, this tempo is coming in. One more push I'm expecting from buyers, and I think the HUN is still not yet tagged. The delta has turned positive, so I'm expecting one more push to shake out the weak buying happening, because you have to always ask questions like, who is coming here, who is selling here, who is buying here. See, now we have a weaker high. The high got tagged. There is an anomaly here, an anomaly here from the order flow perspective. So further continuation to the upside is expected. That is the expected outcome. So this can be a buyback or a pullback opportunity. So if you want, you can wait for it to tag the VWAP or below VWAP somewhere, because these are where some stacked momentum buyers are there. So if you see this order flow, this is where the stacked buyers are present. Okay, so they will try to protect, and what they will do is we will be expecting auction maybe to reach here, and then it will reverse and go higher. Okay, so the VWAP touch is done. It has just tagged the high. So Nitish Kumar is saying poor high. Yes, it was a poor high. It is still a poor high. It's just a tick above. So if you see, it is just one tick above. So who's selling there? Ideally, there should be some sort of excess forming. I'm expecting further continuation to the upside and tagging this reference level. This is the high of the 14th of September, and there is one more reference level, that is this high. Okay, this high is of 3rd of September. If the push from buyer side continues, we have got half-back reference level here. So let sellers step in. These are where sellers are stepping in. We got one more anomaly at the top, one more anomaly at the bottom. Delta is turning, flat. 4,000 contracts traded in the first 5 minutes. 2,000 contracts traded in the current auction. So let's just wait for 1 minute for this candle to close. So this can be a buyback opportunity, a pullback happening. Here it is already tagged the VWAP. You can take a quick long. This is a quick scalp trade which I'm talking of. You can enter long trade, keeping your stop loss maybe around the value area low, or this anomaly, that is 11517. So the trade plan is going. So this is the target, 14 points, and this is the loss, 12 points. Okay, so 1:1 ratio is the trade which is currently happening. More than 1:1. No profit, no loss. You might come in a small break even. So from price action perspective, this entire zone is the seller's territory. So the auction just went there and then it's just coming down. Okay, so this candle is closed below VWAP. Delta is negative, and this was the stop loss which I gave you, 11,522, and sorry, 11,517 was the stop loss for the long trade. So let's observe whether the stop loss gets hit or not today. Okay, so I'm just marking this line. So momentum sellers are stepping in now. So earlier some traders, they would have seen, it's closed below VWAP. Here it is VWAP getting rejected. So these are where momentum traders are stepping in, or momentum sellers, I would say. So those who bought here around the highs, they might have kept the stop loss below this candle. So their stop loss would also be hitting. So there are multiple scenarios, which are getting played. So a balanced profile, overall delta is negative now. So for this candle, delta is negative, but overall cumulative delta is positive. Here cumulative delta is turned flat, stacked below VWAP. So I'm just observing the auction. So Nitish is sharing weak low. Why the low is weak, I don't know. What do you mean by, how did you know that this is a weak low? And which low you're talking of? 'We have still 1 minute to go. First 5 minute 4300 contracts. Second 2800 contracts. Right now we are still at 1600 contracts. The volume is decreasing. If you see the delta is still positive, despite of sellers stepping in, the absorption of supply is going on. Thirty seconds to go for this current auction candle close. Let me see if there are any comments. Yeah, so no comments. But Nitish, again, why are you saying weak low? So weak meaning the weekly low or weak meaning the weaker low. Okay, so the auction is closed below VWAP. There's a doji candle forming, indecisive candle. Delta is flat. So again, I'm just looking whether the stop loss gets hit or not. It's just chopping around the VWAP. Delta is above positive delta, but so odds are high for the bullishness. From buyers' perspective, buyers will be taking the option higher. Just getting rejected around VWAP. Here it's chopping around VWAP. I'm just keeping my hands down and just observing the auction development. So Nijit, this is not a weak low. If it exactly touches and then reverses, it is went below this particular reference level. So if you see this reference level, it is went, auction is went below it. So this low is not weaker. The high is weaker because it's exactly at a visual reference level where the sellers came in, but it's just a tick above the yesterday's high. So you need to understand who is coming, who is selling just one tick above. Okay. So we're just chopping around the VWAP. So 4,000 to 2,000 to 1,900, and right now we're just, so the volume is just drying up. Not a good sign. Buyers are, it seems that buyers are getting shaken off. So those of you who are still active in the long trade with the stop loss which I gave you, if you don't want to take any further risk, you can book, be it loss or profit. You can just close the trade. Risky traders can just sit and wait patiently, because opportunities like this comes very often wherein there is no clarity, there is a lot of confusion, and that's where you make money, a lot of money, or you lose money. So both aspects, you gain money, you also lose money. That's what trading is about. So volume is just drying out around the VWAP levels. So Nitish, my TPO size is 20 because this is Nifty. In Bank Nifty, you have to use higher TPO size. So sellers are stepping in now. Cumulative delta is still flat, is still positive, but it's turning flat. So what you can do is those who are in a long trade, you can shift your stop loss around this candle 522 from 517. So now this is my stop loss. You can also take a long trade now. You can enter one more trade, those who have not taken a trade. So this will be your stop loss and the target will be this. So this comes out to, let's say you bought it here and this is your target. 15 points is the target and you bought here and this is your stop loss. So 1:2 is the ratio. Volume is drying up, not a good sign. Here also it's going below VWAP. Delta is flat, turning flat. I'm just waiting, I'm just observing the auction because it looks like the market is going to fall, it's going to fall, but it's not happening. So it closed around the VWAP, 900 contracts, so same contract. Now expecting buyers to tag the high. But again, it's just chopping around VWAP. Okay. So dull, boring day it seems. You just have to sit and wait patiently. So I'm just looking at how this doji candles are getting formed. Sharp downfall, then again buyers come in. Sharp downfall, buyers come in. So this is the stop loss which I shared. So I shared one trade, long trade. This is the stop loss. So in next 4 minutes, the A period will be closing. Let me look at the volume profile chart. So here the option is getting rejected around the value area highs. Just got rejected there and it's just trading within. So this is a weaker reference. So Nitish is sharing a comment that today open not tested, so it's good for long. I don't know, Nitish, to be honest. What do you mean by open not tested? Okay, again a doji candle is getting formed, and in next 1 minute the A period will be closing and the B period will be starting. So let's see which way the auction goes. So those of you who are still not patient, you can book your profit or loss. Those of you who want to take risk, this is your stop loss now. Just getting rejected around VWAP. So that's an alarming sign. Just getting rejected around VWAP. What you can do is you can now move your stop loss to here. That is 526. So around previous candle low. Now volumes are increasing. Okay, so Nitish has shared open goes to previous day high and comes back not tested. So don't look at such things, Nitish. These are all mechanical things. Trading is an art. That's what Jim Dalton says, and whether it's test, doesn't retest, don't focus on that. Focus on understanding the context. And the reason why I'm just moving the stop losses higher is, see, sellers are trying pretty hard and still the auction is not going down. So that's the way you have to learn instead of focusing on just open, close, high and all that. Okay, so these are all references we have to observe, but we have to also see what's currently happening in the live auction, how the auction is getting developed, and that only you will learn through screen time, through looking at the markets. so I think delta is turning positive now, 44,000. So now it's just trying to tag above the VWAP. You can also move your stop loss to this previous 5-minute candle. So those of you who wants to book their profits, you can book your profit. So I'm just waiting for this anomaly to get cleared. The delta is shifted. So 900 to 923, 1124. I'm expecting more volume, greater than the previous candle. So buyer stepping in now. Okay, so you can book your profit now because it's just a few ticks away. And yeah, so guys, that was the long trade which I wanted to share for today. We waited for I think about 30 minutes for that trade. Okay, so with that, I would like to end the session for today and continue observing the auction, how it is getting developed, and yeah, and you know, we take the trades based on the understanding. Okay, so let's catch up again tomorrow and see, you know, how the auction develops. Ending today's session. Take care. Bye for now.